Hello, and welcome to another great update from the Detroit Lions. Believe me, today's news will surprise you, so stay tuned until the end so you don't miss a thing. But before we get started, I need your help. We're aiming to reach 3,000 subscribers on the channel, and your subscription makes all the difference. In addition to becoming part of this incredible community of Lions fans, you'll also always be up to date with the hottest and most exclusive news about the team. So, subscribe now and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to this great news. The Detroit Lions have built one of the most promising defenses in the NFL in recent years, and part of that success is due to the presence of two of the best young safeties in the league, Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch. Joseph was named to the first-team All-Pro, proving to be one of the most impactful defenders at his position, while Branch, in his rookie season playing as a safety, earned a Pro Bowl selection. Both have established themselves as key pieces in Detroit's secondary, helping the team become more competitive and aggressive in defending against the passing game. However, despite the presence of these emerging stars, former NFL GM and current ESPN analyst Mike Tannenbaum believes the Lions shouldn't stop there when it comes to bolstering the safety position. In his most recent mock draft, Tannenbaum projected Detroit to select University of Georgia's safety Malaki Starks with its first-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. That projection may come as a surprise to some Lions fans, especially considering the quality of players already on the roster. However, Tannenbaum argues that adding Starks wouldn't just be a need-based move, but rather an opportunity to further strengthen a unit that has already shown potential to be one of the best in the league. During a conference call with reporters on Wednesday, Tannenbaum detailed why he sees the Lions investing in another high-level safety. "I think he fits in perfectly with the guys they already have, like Branch and Joseph," the analyst said. "I see Malaki Starks as being very similar to Brian Branch. He's a smart, versatile, highly productive player coming out of a big-time college program. And if you look at the track record of Lions GM Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell, they have a clear pattern. They like to draft productive players from big-time schools." Besides Stark's undeniable talent, there are other reasons Detroit might consider adding another elite safety to the roster. First, the contract uncertainty surrounding its top players at the position is starting to become a factor. Kerby Joseph is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and Brian Branch will have 1 year remaining on his contract after the 2025 season. If the Lions are unable to extend Joseph's contract or decide his salary request is too high, having a ready replacement could be essential to the defense's continuity. Another key factor that could influence this decision is the need for reliable depth in the secondary. The Lions' defense was hit hard by injuries last season, which highlighted the importance of having backups capable of keeping the unit up and running. In modern football, where the passing game is increasingly dominant, having multiple talented safeties can be a competitive differentiator. Finally, it's worth noting that GM Brad Holmes has a history of selecting players based on raw talent rather than the team's immediate needs. He often prioritizes the best player available at the time of his draft, regardless of position. And with Malaki Starks widely considered one of the best defenders in the 2025 class, there's a good chance he could be on the Lions' radar if he's still available when the team makes its selection at number 28 overall. If Detroit follows that line of thinking and goes for Starks, the team's defense could become one of the most feared in the league in the coming years. With a trio of safeties in Joseph, Branch, and Starks, the Lions would have a young, talented, and versatile core that can adapt to any defensive scheme. The future of Detroit's secondary looks bright, and the addition of another elite talent could be just what the team needs to take the next step toward the NFL's elite. The NFL Draft is approaching, and the Detroit Lions already have some clear directions for the number 28 pick. Most experts believe the team should focus on bolstering the defense with an edge rusher or strengthening the offensive line, two areas that clearly need more talent. But is it really that simple? Brad Holmes, the Lions general manager, has always made it clear that the team doesn't draft players based solely on need, but rather on the best talent available at the time of the draft. This method has worked before. Just remember the selection of Jahmyr Gibbs at 12th overall, even after the team had already signed David Montgomery in free agency. In other words, the Lions' strategy is always unpredictable, and the 2024 draft could bring another surprise. What would happen if, when it came time to pick, the best player available was a wide receiver? This was precisely one of the most recent discussions on the Detroit Lions podcast, where the name of Luther Burden from the University of Missouri came up on the radar. Burden, once considered a top-tier talent, has seen his draft status drop somewhat after a less-than-impressive final college season. Still, analysts like Russell Brown believe he remains a top 15 player in this class, and possibly the third-best wide receiver in the draft. Some scouts even consider him the best at the position. But does it make sense for the Lions to invest in another wide receiver, especially with Jameson Williams on the roster and Tim Patrick coming in on a one-year deal? Scott Bischoff, also of the Detroit Lions podcast, made an interesting point. Most of Burden's receptions at Missouri came on short passes, a style of play that closely resembles that of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Could that make him redundant in the Lions' offensive scheme? Brown countered that argument, saying Burden could fit well into the offense, and that the team could design specific plays to maximize his talent. To top it off, Bischoff made a comparison that could excite Lions fans. Burden has similar traits to Chicago Bears wide receiver DJ Moore, an explosive and reliable wide receiver. In recent days, several experts have Burden going to the Lions at the number 28 pick. CBS Sports' Chris Trapasso reinforced that fans shouldn't be fooled by Burden's 2024 numbers. He's still a top-tier prospect and could make a difference. Other analysts, such as Matt Bitonio and Rob Gregson, have also projected Burden to go to Detroit. Bitonio noted that there's no real reason for him to be falling so much in the rankings, while Gregson said that the Lions have one of the most complete rosters in the NFL, but still have a significant hole in the receiving core. Ultimately, the Lions could surprise once again and select a wide receiver in the first round. Could Luther Burden be that unexpected piece in Detroit's offense? The answer will be revealed on draft day. So, Lions fans, what do you think of this possibility? Would you like to see the team invest in a wide receiver like Luther Burden at number 28, or do you think shoring up the defense or offensive line should be the priority? In my opinion, while the Lions have other needs, a talent like Burden could further elevate this offense and form an explosive trio with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Of course, this pick wouldn't be unanimous, and the team might want to wait to take a WR later in the draft. Now, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment and tell me, would you approve of this pick, or do you think the Lions should focus on another position? See you next time.